Work at the big harbour near the big station began to increase, and the Fat Controller had bought a new engine from the Heritage Railway on the mainland. His name is Sheffield, and he is the same size and shape as Wilbur. He also worked at the coal ward along with him. The Fat Controller was glad to see him at last. "Welcome to my railway, Sheffield," boomed the Fat Controller. "Now you can rest up in the yard after your long journey." "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir," said Sheffield, and he puffed away to the sheds. As the austerity tank engine was puffing his way to the sheds, he scowled at the line of trucks waiting in the yards. Diesel was shunting some trucks in a nearby siding. Rosie was away at Barron Furnace, and Diesel was asked to look after her work. Diesel was curious at the new engine's look towards the trucks. He made his way towards the sheds. "Hello. Allow me to introduce myself. My name's Diesel, and you might be—" "Read my nameplate, you buzzing box!" "You got an attitude problem," said Diesel crossly. "I was just asking why were you scowling at the trucks earlier? I know that they are troublesome, but Edward told me that at some times, not all trucks are troublesome." "All trucks are troublesome. They deserve to be bumped." "You sound just like me in my younger years. But trucks are only to be bumped hard when they are troublesome." "Well, I'm going my way," snapped Sheffield, and he went to sleep. With Boko away at the works, the Fat Control had asked Sheffield to collect the train of fish from Brendam Docks and take them to the harbour at the big station. However, his attitude hadn't changed from yesterday, and he bumped the trucks hard. "Careful!" called a workman. Sheffield just huffed. Bill and Ben were also in the harbour as well, to deliver China clay wagons for Edward. As they puffed in, they saw Sheffield bashing more meat vans. "Get in line, all of you," he said. "Hey, be careful with them," said Bill. "Yeah, you don't want them to bash you about," said Ben. But Sheffield didn't care. "I suppose you're the experts on the trucks," said Sheffield sarcastically. "We are China clay engines. We know all about trucks," said Ben, who felt very offended. So did Bill. "Yeah, in fact, we can even handle the most notorious trucks over at the clay pits." "Is that so? Well, after delivering this lot, I'll be heading down to the clay pits to collect the trucks and take them to the harbour for the ships. I guess I can handle those trucks." As the fish was finally loaded up in his train, Sheffield puffed away. Bill and Ben were thinking of a plan. They came up with a solution. "We'll do it when we get back," said Ben. When they returned to the clay pits, they'd been biffing and bashing the trucks in line. "Hey, what are you doing?" they screeched. At last, Sheffield arrived. "Here you go, Sheffield. Order the notorious trucks in line." Sheffield felt impressed. "I thought you'd be delaying my train. Guess I was wrong. Thanks, you two," he said, and he puffed away. But the China clay trucks weren't happy. At the big station, Sheffield was nearing the harbour. "There in record time," he said happily. But the China clay trucks knew they couldn't pay Bill and Ben out now, so they thought of doing to Sheffield to teach Bill and Ben not to mess with them. "It's for them calling us notorious," they said. Puffing over the viaduct, the trucks put all their pressure onto Sheffield's buffers. Sheffield was surprised. "Hey, stop, you idiots!" A foreman had switched the points for Sheffield towards a siding so he can rest. But they didn't know that Sheffield was coming down the bridge fast. Sheffield put every ounce of weight and steam against the trucks, but it was too late.
Not again!
Rescue had come, and despite that no one was hurt, the fat controller was not happy. "You shouldn't have bumped them, Sheffield. I heard about your abuse towards the trucks. But sir, I didn't go anywhere near the clay pits. When it comes to shunting..." The fat controller pondered. "Well, I think I know who's behind all this then anyway. But despite that, you should treat all trucks with respect, and trucks should only be bumped when they're trouble, not when they're behaving. So you'll be going to the out-of-use siding for the time being until you learn your lesson." So James shunted Sheffield towards the out-of-use siding. Sheffield's driver came towards him. "Sheffield, before we plunged into the wall, you said not again. Do you know what happened?" It was nothing, sir. Slipped out of my pipes for no reason." At the clay pits later in the day, the fat controller and the China clay manageress came to see the twins. "Sheffield has been in an accident." "The plan worked," cheered Ben, although Bill was in utter annoyance that Ben revealed their plan. And the fat controller and the China clay manageress weren't looking very pleased. "So it was you who's been bashing the trucks?" The twins had no choice but to admit defeat.
"Yes, sir,"
whimpered Ben.
"We only did it because he didn't respect our experience, even though we bragged about it,"
said Bill. "Well, your manageress and I are not pleased by your pranks and disrespect towards the trucks. Your manageress told me that those trucks you shunted for Sheffield were on their best behaviour today. It's the harbour yard for you as your punishment." "But who'll look after the China clay, sir?" asked Ben. "Donald and Douglas will do," said the fat controller. So that is what they did. And as for Sheffield, well, that's another story.